We in these streets.
All right, what's up, everybody? Y'all know what it is, man. Three Kings Boxing. Go to threekingboxing.com for the latest and greatest what's going on in the sport of boxing. Shout out to everybody over there at Three Kings. And then once again, shout out to my man, Prodigy, man, for making time out to come on here and do this with us. What's going on, family?
Man, I ran into some shit a couple of days ago, bro. And this is why I don't respect nobody in boxing. I don't respect none of these media cats out here. And motherfuckers will say, man, hey, 2K, man, why do you talk the way you do when you do them shows? This is why right here. Got motherfuckers taking credit for work that we've done years ago. I'm watching this shit on social media. I'm watching niggas' videos and shit. And they're taking pieces of the work that we've done back in 2017 and not crediting the right people who actually did the fucking interview. So we're going to show this clip later on. And this shit, it went viral recently, right? We're going to show this at the end of the show, what clip I'm talking about. But this is why right here, I don't respect nobody in this shit, bro. This is exactly why right here, man.
You know
what?
This
shit was before Three Kings even happened. Before we started, we were just a couple of cats that just went out there and got some work done, bro.
That's
exactly what it was.
Niggas, we was just a couple of niggas talking boxing, and that was pretty much it.
Yep.
You know, that's pretty much all we were. We were just a couple of motherfuckers talking fucking boxing, and that was pretty much it, right? But like you said, man, these motherfuckers, hey, we gonna handle that. We gonna deal with these dudes, all right? But Prodigy, we got a fantasy matchup for everybody. Now we know what you guys saw. Blame the old man. My bad. Blame the old man. My bad. But we got to get into this fantasy matchup, man. So, as you guys know, man, we like taking errors. We like taking, gingers, and we like putting these guys when they was at the peak and the height of their career. At super middleweight, we have unified champion Andre Ward, and then you have the not so champion but unified later on in his career, Joe Calzaghe.
All right, man, and let me explain that real quick.
Thank you, sir.
Because I've seen cats, say that Joe Calzaghe is underrated. What's funny about Joe Calzaghe is I said this shit, man. This is before he retired. This one, my show was like getting shit. I don't even remember if he even got views back then. But I was telling people, man, I was like, Joe Calzaghe is gonna go down in boxing history as a forgotten legend. I said that shit back in like 2014, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be a forgotten legend. Nobody's gonna really remember him. It's because of the way that he did things in his career. He fought almost everybody with the exception of Jeff Lacey and Mikhail Kessler outside of their prime. And then it was dudes that really weren't that good, like Seiki Obika, that he was getting credit for. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you got Bernard Hopkins. I didn't think he even won that fight. That fight was terrible. It was a terrible, boring fight. People talk about boring fights. Watch Calzaghe, Bernard Hopkins. That fight was boring as fuck. Them niggas were sitting there jockeying, looking at each other the whole goddamn fight, taunting each other. Nobody really threw any goddamn punches, but there was a knockdown. Guess who got knocked down? Joe Calzaghe. All right, Bernard Hopkins wins then by default. Almost. That's really what it was.
That's really what it was.
So, the Roy Jones Jr. fight, Roy had already been knocked out by everybody, and they got knocked out by one of my cousins probably by the time that fight took place. Everybody had knocked Roy out by that time. So, at the end of the day, Joe Calzaghe said it, dog, almost 10 years ago. He will go down as a forgotten legend. And I remember a lot of cats just recently were talking about Joe Calzaghe on Facebook. And it was a Welsh company. They had their own page. And they were saying that, man, Joe Calzaghe doesn't get the respect he deserves. And I'm sitting back watching this like, yeah, he shouldn't. So they understand now that what I've said 8 years ago has come to fucking light. It's the truth. I knew it then, and it's happening now. Right?
Yep.
But at the end of the day, and let me explain what Bo was saying about him being a not-so champion. He held that WBO title his whole fucking career, right? literally his whole career until he fought Jeff Lacy, where he got the IBF title. He didn't become a champion until 2006, realistically, a major champion. However, he got the WBO title, like in 97?
Yes, he did. Held that
98?
10 years.
Somewhere around there. So, yeah, we're talking almost 10 years of him holding the WBO title, and the WBO title wasn't recognized as a major title until 2007. So they were calling him a major champion, but he really wasn't. He didn't become champion until he beat Jeff Lacy. That's what Bo was talking about. But anyway, that's my little rant. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, but also let me add more to that, right? He didn't become a unified champion because remember when he beat Jeff Lacy, the WBO belt wasn't legit. So for whatever
reason, we get all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to spend too much time on that because we could do a whole video on fucking on Joe Calzaghe and why him not being credited as a legit legend is legitimate.
Yep.
He shouldn't be.
Exactly, man. So you got him taking on Andre Ward. Who wins this matchup? Now let me explain something to y'all. They called Joe Calzaghe Slappy for a reason, right? And that was because Joe Calzaghe, he was the type of fighter. He never really he fought on his toes, so he never really committed to his punches. He always would like to hit you and move away. And they called him actually looking like that's how he was throwing his jab, like right? Okay. He was, I will give him this. Joe Calzaghe, he was very good at fighting off the front foot. He was very good at attacking you and then moving out of the way. He was very good at throwing combination punches. I would definitely give that man that, right? And I got to give it to Joe Calzaghe from this aspect. He had decent footwork when he had more control of the fight. If you can get Joe Calzaghe going backwards, if you can get Joe Calzaghe uncomfortable, if you can get Joe Calzaghe outside of his comfort zone, he always had a problem. Joe Calzaghe would always, whenever someone come in on him, he would always move back, circle around, and try to get back in the center of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
This is where, in my opinion, he would lose to Andre Ward. Andre Ward was an inside fighter. Joe Calzaghe hated that. But here's the difference, though, than other fighters Joe Calzaghe fought. Andre Ward didn't just come in and go inside. Andre Ward knew how to box you to get inside. And then once he got inside, Andre Ward would stay on your ass. The body punching from Andre Ward, the footwork from Andre Ward, and the athleticism for Andre Ward would have been a huge problem for Joe Calzaghe. When Bernard Hopkins did decide to press Joe Calzaghe, we saw what happened. He knocked him down. Well, Andre Ward can do that in spades. You know what I'm saying? Andre Ward can not only can he do it, but Andre Ward would have the ability to where if Calzaghe tried to bounce outside, Andre Ward knew how to place his foot to control the direction he would want Joe Calzaghe to go to keep him trapped right there where he wants him and hit that body. And Joe Calzaghe defense was no defense. His defense was his offense. If he couldn't get his offense going, Joe Calzaghe did not have any defense for that. So in my honest opinion, I got Andre Ward beating Joe Calzaghe, and I'm gonna make everybody mad. I think Andre Ward, a super middleweight, would have knocked him the fuck out. I think Andre Ward attacking Joe Calzaghe on the inside, attacking Joe Calzaghe's body, would drop him, stay on him, get on him again, keep going to that body, and drop him again and they would have to end that fight. If it was here in the U.S., if it was over in the UK, they do all kind of shit to keep that from happening. But I think Andre Ward would stop Joe Calzaghe if he was able to fight his fight. He stops him, man.
You know, and after, you know, in light of all I said before all of this about him, I actually did like Joe Calzaghe. You know what I'm saying? You know, I was big on Jeff Lacy, and that was before I was really, really analyzing styles the way I'm able to do today. And, you know, I go back in hindsight and be like, damn, nigga, what the hell was you thinking? You know what I'm saying? Liking left hook Lacy, bro. Right?
Don't feel bad, nigga. I like the Edison Miranda.
Right. Yeah. People all there, everybody knows I used to be on fucking Anselmo Moreno. I thought Anselmo Moreno was that light version of Floyd Mayweather back in the day. You know what I'm saying? The niggas we thought were good. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, Jeff Lacy was one of them dudes. I used to be like, oh, man, this nigga right here, bro. And I picked him to beat Joe Calzaghe, right? But when I saw how Calzaghe just cremated this dude, bro, this is another fight where I felt bad for the fighter. You know, the beating he took from Joe Calzaghe, the difference in skill. You can watch Jeff Lacy and see him just, you see the soul come out of his body, bro, be taken out of his body, bro. the will. You know what I'm saying? He's still coming forward, but there's nothing behind it. You see what I'm saying? There's nothing he could do to win that fight. There was nothing he could do to turn the fight around. Hell, there was nothing he could do to even get an edge in a round, nigga, let alone the entire fight. You see what I'm saying? It was bad, bro. And he went, I mean, and he went the entire 12 rounds of getting his ass beat. For some reason, all three judges gave him one round. I don't know why they did that, but they did. You know what I'm saying? I think it was a pity round for Jeff Lay. Thanks for coming out to the UK, man. Appreciate it. Here you go. Here's a round. Right? That's what they had to have done. But with all that being said, you know, Joe Calzaghe was not on the level that a lot of UK, Welsh, Irish, whatever the fuck you want to call them all over there in that area want him to be on. He just wasn't. And that's why he didn't make those fights with Hopkins and Roy Jones Jr. until the time was right for him. You see what I'm saying?
Agreed.
That's why, you know, the German cat, can't think of his name right now.
Stig Leonis.
No.
Stig. I know you're talking about.
Yeah, the German fighter that was a champion, bro.
Yeah, it was
and
like
they both.
I remember that.
They both were, you know, talking about fighting each other and shit.
Svenaki.
Yeah, Svenaki. They're both talking about fighting each other, and they, you know, both of them were like, "Well, you come over here. No, you come over here. Well, you come over here." And then, you know, Joe Calzaghe's father made it clear, well, we're not leaving this area. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why you didn't see the Svenaki fight. That fight would have, you know, been a close fight because those two were on the same level. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think Calzaghe would have beaten Svenaki, but they were on the same fucking level. You see what I'm saying? Andre Ward is on a completely different level than Joe Calzaghe, man. Than Joe Calzaghe could have ever been on. Andre Ward would have embarrassed Joe Calzaghe, bro. It would have been a good showing for Calzaghe in the middle rounds, right? Because he started late. That's why he got knocked down early against Roy Jones Jr. That's why he got knocked down early against Bernard Hopkins. It would have been a good showing for him as he made adjustments in the middle rounds because he did have fast hands. He did throw a lot of punches. And as Bo mentioned, his footwork was really good. It was. But Andre Ward was a master at breaking down his opponent's style while the fight was happening. Why do you think he was able to get up from a Sergey Kovalev punch and then go on to beat that man? Now, some people don't think he won, but you guys do understand he did win walking away the second time, right? If you sat there and said, oh, he didn't win the first one, but you have to conclude he did win the second. So my point still fucking stands. He got up from the knockdown, continued the first fight, and then on into the second one, made it look easier. See what I'm saying? Made it look much easier.
Yeah.
That's the type of fighter Andre Ward was. Calzaghe, not so much of an intelligent fighter. I didn't see intelligent fighting coming from Joe Calzaghe. I saw a lot of athleticism and moving, right? Making sure that he kept his volume up, which in turn he kept his endurance up so that he can produce such a volume to basically show the judges, hey, I'm throwing more punches, so I have to be landing more punches. I have more activity. You have to give me the round. That was Joe Calzaghe, bro. Andre Ward would have made that man smother his shots. He would have been all on him, and the body work, as Bo mentioned, would have been ridiculous. It would have slowed Joe Calzaghe down as well. He wouldn't have been using the ring as much. When you take Joe Calzaghe's feet away from him, he don't have much more after that. Yes, he has fast hands, but dog, when you're getting hit to the body, that volume slows down as well. Slows down your movement, slows down your volume. You're sucking in the air more times than you are throwing punches. Yeah, I'm not going to go out on a limb and say that Andre Ward stops him, even though that is a very credible result, right? A credible prediction. But I think he does beat Joe Calzaghe 8-4, 9-3. I'm probably leaning 9-3, bro. The way that Andre Ward embarrassed Carl Froch, and even though Carl Froch and Joe Calzaghe are not the same fighter, but the way that he did that, a lot of people coming into that fight thought Carl Froch was going to beat Andre Ward because of what Carl Froch did to Jermaine Taylor. They're all over that shit, right? Yeah. The way that he took the life out of fans of Carl Froch, it's the same fucking thing that's going to happen here. Andre Ward would have taken the life out of fans of Joe Calzaghe with ease, and it would have been a 9-3 type of fight. Andre Ward, man, and it probably wouldn't even see a blemish on this nigga. One thing I want people to understand is, think about this. When he fought Roy Jones, guys, watch the beginning of that fight. The first 4 rounds, Roy Jones was dominating him. Now, the judges only gave Jones 2 rounds, which I don't know where the fuck that came from, but he was dominating him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was like, I remember watching the TV like, damn, dog, you're having trouble with this version of Roy Jones? What the fuck you think would have happened, you know what I mean, 5, 6, 7 years ago, bro? He would have knocked you the fuck out. And that was that washed version of Roy Jones, bro. The one that had already been knocked out by Tarver and Glenn Johnson, right? Hell, he already had 4 losses at that time. He was knocked out by Tarver, Glenn Johnson, and somebody else. And then, of course, the other one was, the Montel Griffin disqualification. But somebody else, it was probably Tarver. He lost to Tarver twice, once by knockout. Remember that? Because they had a third fight. So it was the 2 losses to Tarver. It was a knockout to Glenn Johnson. And then, of course, a disqualification to Montel Griffin. So those are his 4 losses. So you guys can't tell me after that third fight with Antonio Tarver, nobody can tell me, damn, nigga, Roy. Nobody can tell me they didn't think Roy's done. Roy was my favorite fighter at that time. And I was saying it. Damn, man, Roy's done. I was sad, like, fuck, man. One of the greatest to ever do it is done. Because after the third fight, remember, he had already got knocked out by Glenn Johnson.
And that's when I thought the nigga was done. When he was
we thought he was done before the third fight with Tarver, right? Right.
That nigga was laying there like Robert Alanis.
Exactly, bro. Nigga just out there, bro. And he went back and fought Tarver a third time after that, and then just lost just a 12-round decision. And it was a blowout. And Calzaghe had trouble with that version of Roy. Nah, man, Andre Ward beats the dog shit out of Joe Calzaghe, man. Easy work.
Agreed, 100% agreed. I'm gonna say something else too, because you said you remember how Andre Ward took the life out of people when he beat Froch. I remember when he beat Mikhail Kessler. That really took that took the spunk out of it, because a lot of motherfuckers like myself picked Mikhail Kessler to win that tournament.
And I don't know why you did that. And we talked about that. We talked about that later on. Mikhail Kessler was overrated. I've always thought that. I remember when he entered the Super 6, most people were picking Mikhail Kessler. I picked Andre Ward.
Sure,
you know what I'm saying? Remember telling my wife in 2009, this nigga right here is going to win it. I had Andre Ward first. I had Arthur Abraham second. And I had Andre Durrell third. Those are my top 3 picks to win the Super 6 before it started. Now when them niggas started fighting, no. Before it started, that was my top 3 picks. Ward, Abraham, and fucking Andre Durrell, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And I remember telling my wife, girlfriend at the time, I don't know why these niggas are picking Mikhail Kessler. He's overrated. I never thought Mikhail Kessler was a good fighter, bro. And that's partly why I don't really give Joe Calzaghe much credit for the Kessler win. I never liked Mikhail Kessler. I never liked him. So in reality, who did he really beat? Chris Eubank Sr. when the nigga was old? Who did he really beat?
For that vacant WBO title too.
Yeah, right. For that, yeah, right. Fuck out of here, man.
But yeah, no, that's actually a good point, because Kessler, you're right. I don't know why motherfuckers picking him, because he had just lost before entering that tournament. He had just lost to Calzaghe, and that was the sign right there. But man, when Andre Ward got in there and manhandled and bullied Calzaghe, he bullied Calzaghe to the point Calzaghe was like, he's cheating. He's a dirty play. Kessler, I'm sorry. I'm talking about
Kessler.
Andre Ward bullied Kessler to the point Kessler, he's cheating. He's a dirty fighter.
Yeah, I remember that. No, nigga, you just not that good and never was. Didn't Kessler lose to Carl Froch?
Yes, he did.
Gross. That's gross. Ew. That is disgusting. You're supposed to be this great fighter. You're out there losing. I remember he was talking about they cheated too. And I remember that shit.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
He cheated. Andre Ward, he told Carl Froch, watch out. Andre Ward's a dirty fighter. How? Nigga, he fights you on the inside and whoops your ass.
Yeah, because I remember they had 2 fights, didn't they? Kessler won the first one, I think, and Froch won the second one.
Correct.
Yeah. And I remember Froch was saying that was some bullshit. Froch was always a crying ass dude, man.
Yeah.
He clearly lost to Andre Dirrell. I mean, that shit was clear.
Oh hell.
I remember he said, "Yeah, I don't know what the Mexican judge was thinking about." He said some shit like that in the post fight. He clearly lost to Andre Dirrell, man. But he was always a crying ass bitch, Carl Froch. And then McKessler was a crying ass bitch when he fucking lost. Two crying ass bitches that are average fighters. And I'm glad Andre Ward wiped the floor with both them niggas, man.
Right, hell yeah. So that's what's up, man. Andre Ward beats Joe Calzaghe. Y'all don't like it. Y'all know what to do. Nothing. None you niggas
Sit
can
back and take it. I hate these guys.
I fucking hate these guys. I fucking hate. If I go over Andre Ward's resume at 168, and you know what, I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna waste my time. All right, man. Let's move on to the next one right now. All right, man. So as you guys know, Oleksandr Usyk's out there, and he out there in them streets.
In them streets.
He's telling everybody, you know, on Deontay Wilder's birthday, you know, I guess he giving Deontay Wilder a birthday gift, saying that, okay, after Tyson Fury, I fight, you know, the Wilder, and that's how he did it too.
Yeah,
I fight Wilder. Here's the thing, I actually like what he said about after Tyson Fury. That tells me that he is 100% full focus on going after Undisputed. He's not thinking about anything else. That's his main goal. He said it before, I will fight in 2023. The problem that the thing that's still concerning me is, where will this fight take place? Because in all reality, from what I still can tell, Tyson Fury can't travel just yet. Yeah. So if Usyk don't want to go to the UK, they may still have a problem with that fight. But I am glad to hear him saying after Undisputed. And notice he said after I beat Fury, I'll fight Wilder. I truly believe, man, when this fight get made, I can't wait to see what the odds are going to be. Listen, I believe what my man Prodigy says. There's something about Usyk that got Tyson Fury kind of shook a little bit. Something about this dude that got him shook a little bit. Maybe because he can't intimidate him or he can't get into his mind. But there's something about Usyk that has Tyson Fury a little shook. And Usyk's confidence, and I believe the Usyk movement, that ability will give him a better chance. I'm glad he's focused on fighting Tyson Fury. If he fights Deontay Wilder, I believe he beats Deontay Wilder, because Usyk has already proven he's the type of dude that it's going to take more than power to beat this guy, right? So if he gives us those two fights before he rides off into the sunset, shit, nigga, I'm happy, man. What's your thoughts on this, Prodigy?
Well, you know, first, you know, I want to shout out my man Blake. He said Usyk should be pound for pound number one. There you go, Blake. Right there. 3 Kings already on it, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't mind cats putting Crawford up there, but me and you going to have to talk. If you got Crawford over Usyk, we need to have a discussion. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, dog. Right. Right, bro. We need to have a discussion. After what Usyk has done at heavyweight, we need to have a discussion, bro. You know what I'm saying? But nah, man, yeah. I don't know. Here's the scenario. I think it's either or. I don't think it's one or the other. I don't think it's one and the other. It's either or. What I mean by that is Usyk's going to fight Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder, right? I don't think it would be Tyson Fury and then Deontay Wilder. Or it could be Deontay Wilder then Tyson Fury. I don't see it the other way around. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I say that is because, like you said, there's a lot of the unknown surrounding Tyson Fury and his status as it pertains to the Daniel Kinahan situation. We don't know. We just don't know what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, Deontay Wilder, like I said, he's an intriguing matchup to anybody. But Usyk is just good, man. He's too good of a fighter, bro. The reason why he couldn't beat Tyson Fury, minus what people say there was a fucking 15 count, or Fury's gloves are loaded, or Fury fucked Wilder's bitch before the fight. Whatever you may think happened that made Wilder off his game or wasn't credited a win he should have had, whatever it was, whatever excuse was, the real reason why Wilder couldn't beat Fury is because of Fury's boxing pedigree, bro. That's why. some niggas out there saying, but look at the size. I mean, he came in at like 290. So what? David Haye beat Nikolay Valuev. Then when I say that, they're like, bro, did you just really compare Nikolay Valuev and Tyson Fury? No, I didn't. You're the one that just said size. I didn't compare the two. You said, well, he came in at 290. You didn't put on there, he's 290. The niggas had an excellent boxing ability, all this other shit. Because if you did say all those things about his skill, then you would know that it wouldn't have mattered that he was 290. He would still lose to Fury. That's why you didn't say that. You thought I was just too dumb of a nigga not to pick up the fact that there was a other heavyweight that beat a much larger heavyweight and Haye and Nikolay Valuev. Yes, he was bigger, but he's also better. So Fury could have came in 230, 220. He's better. He still wins. Actually, he's gonna move a lot faster.
Yeah. Yeah.
Makes it even worse for Deontay, honestly. He still wins. It's the skill. It has nothing to do with the size. It's the fucking skill.
Exactly.
It's the brain, nigga. The pedigree that Tyson Fury has gone through. That's what it is. Wilder doesn't have that. And that's essentially that and him relying on one punch. That was his fucking downfall. Plain and simple.
Plain and simple. I agree.
And it would be his downfall against Oleksandr Usyk. Yeah, it's intriguing to find out if Usyk can take a Wilder punch, but then I say this shit too. You guys are really putting a huge, making a huge difference between Wilder and Anthony Joshua's punching power like it's that big. They're making it seem like Wilder punches on like a whole nother galaxy type of level than Anthony Joshua, and that's just not true.
Yeah.
He has one hand that is probably better in terms of power than Anthony Joshua's, but overall, he doesn't have this superhuman strength that Anthony Joshua doesn't have either. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
He's not that much more powerful than Anthony Joshua, and Usyk was taking his shots. So you can use the two Anthony Joshua fights as credible leverage to be able to come up with a strong analytical, right, argument to state that Usyk could probably take a Wilder shot. You could easily do that. But niggas want Deontay Wilder to be this superhero, nigga. It's not the fucking case.
One punch man. They want to be one punch man.
Fury showed that shit 3 fucking times. He's not that. The nigga's human. Yeah, he's got a powerful punch, but some people can fucking take it.
Yep.
Hell, Bermane Stiverne was able to take it the first time. Don't know what happened the second time they fought, but he was able to take it the first time. So the nigga's not a superhero, bruh. Usyk's gonna go in there with a better boxing pedigree and a better boxing mind and give Wilder a terrible fucking a fight that he wasn't ready for again. I can't wait for it. I hope that fight happens. Honestly, bruh. Listen, yeah, I want the Fury fight because it's undisputed. I want that.
Yes, agreed.
But like you said, the whole Daniel Kinahan situation might be in the way. Usyk might not want to fight him in the UK, which I agree with. You don't want to do that.
Nope.
So fight Wilder. Give me that fight. I'll take that shit. Absolutely. Wilder's going to fight Andy Ruiz first.
Of course.
Probably. But, yeah, I'll take that Usyk-Wilder fight. Give me that shit, dog. Wilder will go back into retirement. He'll make another fucking unisex perfume, nigga.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
And another, man, did you see this nigga's music video? Oh, man.
Look, man. All right, man, look, man.
Hold on, man. Let me just say this, bro. Let me just say, I should have put that motherfucker on here. I forgot to. Let me just say this, man. I will never shit on a person getting a dough. All right? Exactly. Whether or not I like their content is irrelevant.
Exactly.
I have to give them credit for doing new things. So I give Deontay Wilder credit. I will never wear a unisex perfume, nigga. That just contradicts my whole alpha maleism 100%. I'll never do it, right? But you know, I give him credit for venturing in that, and doing that venture. That's what's up.
Yep, 100%.
I heard the music video. I saw it. I will never, ever, 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 ever. Shout out to Chris Tucker. Buy a Deontay Wilder song. Ever. Nor will I ever share the music video and be like, man, y'all seen this? This shit fire. No. But I give him credit for doing that venture. That's what's up. Yep. You know what I'm saying? 100% credit for that. But that was the worst shit. I'm trying to think which one's worse, him or Adrian Broner. I'm trying to figure this out. Because Adrian Broner's rap is garbage, nigga. That shit sucks. Deontay Wilder's music was like some, what the fuck was that?
Some unisex like, music. That was.
Oh my God, bro. Listen, man, it's cool to support somebody, man, but don't give a guy qualities that he doesn't have.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And a lot of cats want to think of Deontay Wilder as some sort of alpha male leader. He's not that, dog. He may be speaking on things that you agree with, but that's where it should stop.
Exactly.
Deontay Wilder is not a leader, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely not an alpha male type of leader. Absolutely not. And he's showing you this all the time. Wearing skirts, wearing weave, twerking, making excuses for his losses, coming out with unisex perfumes. The music video was that shit was slightly homosexual, bro. Come on, man. I get it. You want to support this nigga, man. I get it. But don't give him qualities that he doesn't fucking have. That is my only problem with that. I'll never tell somebody who they should and shouldn't follow. Exactly. I don't care about who or what you follow. But understand, don't give this nigga phantom qualities saying he's an alpha male and a real leader. He's not. He's neither of those things, bro. He's nowhere near close to it. That's my only problem with that shit, bro. And then try to tell niggas that if they don't have the same mindset, then something's wrong with them. Yeah, get the fuck out of here with that, nigga.
For real, right? Let me tell you what. Let me say something here. All right. You do whatever you want with your life, with your woman and all that. Let me just say this though, because in the video when I saw it, there was a lot of cats making comments about Wilder's girl, his fiance, wife, whatever, right? They was making comments, and then dudes like, oh man, I'll be talking about her. Like, hey man, if you make a video where you are showing your woman in a thong and her butt cheeks are hanging out and she's half naked,
yeah, man,
you can't get mad if motherfuckers is commenting.
Why are you objectifying your own wife? You see how stupid he is, bro?
That's what I'm saying.
When I look at Wilder, and we don't mean to get off topic, but some shit just needs to be said, man. When I look at Wilder and the things that he says, I know he means. I think Wilder's a good dude. He's just caught up and trying to be something he's not, man. That's my problem with Wilder. Mm-hmm. I think he's a genuine dude. I really do think he's a good dude. When he first started boxing, it was all about his daughter and spina bifida. That was what's up, man. I could fuck with that Wilder.
Yep.
But once you've already showed me that one, you can't persuade me to think that this new one is a real one. The one that wants a body in the ring. And no, you don't, nigga. You're soft. Boxers can be soft too. That just because you box don't mean you're alpha male. That means you're just not scared to get hit. That's what that means.
That's exactly what that means.
That's all that means. You're not scared to take a punch. My 13-year-old daughter's not scared to take a punch. You know what I'm saying? My 10-year-old son's not scared to take a punch. Doesn't mean they're alpha males. You know what I'm saying? That means absolutely nothing. The nigga's very soft. So I expect him to be a soft person. But trying to be hard all the fucking time, that tells me he's fake. He's
Right.
already saw what he really was.
Right.
He showed it to us early in his career. See what I'm saying? So when I look at him, I see a nigga doing what all these other niggas out here do.
Mm-hmm.
Perpetrate.
Mm-hmm.
That's not you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now he's out here objectifying his wife because he's trying to be too cool. He's trying to be that nigga.
Yes. Yes.
Man, I don't, like I said, man, I wish I could have been one of those guys that could stand by Deontay Wilder, but I can't, bro.
Yeah.
Absolutely can't. I tried in the past, like 6-7 years ago. I tried.
Yep.
Can't do it, bro. I can't stand by a beta male, nigga. I cannot do that. That's just not in me, nigga. There's in a lot of these other niggas out here. It ain't in me.
Yeah.
I stand
100%.
by niggas that are like-minded, bro. Alpha male niggas. If you not that, I can't fuck with you. Yeah, I can associate with you, hold a conversation with you and be cordial. Sure. But to really be by your side and be like, yeah, this is my dude? No. No.
100%, man. 100%, man. All right, man. Let's move on, y'all. So, as you guys know, the boxing world was kicked in the nuts. We heard Terence Crawford and Errol Spence fight for November is off. And then, of course, you know, they kicked us in the nuts again when they told us that, oh, by the way, Crawford's going to fight David Avanesyan in December in Nebraska. Right? That's what they told us. And then they made us go, huh? When we found out he's going to get $10 million. Now, context is very, very key here, right? And this is what me and Prodigy want you guys to understand. Now, the entity that's going to be giving him this $10 million is an entity called Black Prime, right? A lot of people don't know anything about Black Prime. Well, over here, Three Kings Boxing, we have to do what we have to do. We have to do our due diligence. If we're going to talk about something, we have to do our due diligence. We just can't talk about nothing and don't know what the fuck it is we're talking about, right? All right, so Black Prime is a streaming app. It is for independent film, independent TV shows. As a matter of fact, they host certain shows like I Dance. It is located in Silicon Valley. It's based out of Silicon Valley, right? It's been around for 5 years. It costs $3.99 a month. The app, matter of fact, if you go on the Apple App Store, you'll find that app. They are doing this fight pay-per-view. Now, they had pay-per-view boxing matches, but not professional boxing matches. And what I mean by that is they've signed some amateur fights. As a matter of fact, on the undercard of Jake Paul versus Silva is a cat that they had on their app called Ashton Salve, Sylve. Right? He was an amateur fighter, 16 years old. Now he's 18. They signed him back when he was 16. Okay. So they post a lot of amateur fights on it. And then, of course, they host a lot of street beef fights on it that they sell. Guys get on there and have, conferences, hype shit up, and they sell those for pay-per-views. All right. So they are a tech company, right? They do multicultural movies and TV shows, but it's mostly independent type stuff, low budget, independent type stuff, right? So that's what kind of app this is. Now, with that being said, is there an agenda behind this? Me and Prodigy was spitballing on this, right? And this could very well be a situation where somebody, PBC, Showtime, somebody is behind this, because when they crunch the numbers, because everything comes down to money. Some Prodigy said to me when we was talking, and I had to give it to him. Everything comes down to money. When you crunch the numbers when it comes to Terence Crawford, right? Let's just say, for example, Terence Crawford wants a $15 million guarantee or a $20 million guarantee. Well, they're like, man, we can't give you that when you fight Errol Spence, because if we crunch the numbers, that's going to, Earl's going to want the same thing you're going to want, right? Which means this fight has to, so we're going to give Errol 20, give you 20. Well, this fight has to generate about 100 million for us to even come out even once we divvy up the money between, paying people and giving you guys whatever you guys supposed to get pay-per-view. Yep. If Terence Crawford is unable to deliver on his side what he's supposed to be from a money aspect as far as drawing people in, as we know he cannot do that, then that becomes a problem, right? Herein lies the problem. So this could very well be a situation where somebody, like my grandfather used to say, men in suits, they make deals, but they do a wink and a nod. So somebody higher up did a wink and a nod to one of their homies, and somebody was like, all right, we'll help you guys out in return for something on the back end.
Right.
And I totally agree with my man Prodigy when me and him was breaking this down, because if you look at this from a larger aspect, right? This move, understand that David Avanesyan is managed by who? Well, by Frank Warren of Queensberry. I highly doubt Terence Crawford is in the know with somebody like Frank Warren. Frank Warren don't deal with fighters like that. Frank Warren deal with niggas at the top. All right? Bob Arams, Al Heyman. Frank Warren don't deal with fighters like that. No, sir. No. Hell, depending on who you are, he won't even deal with you. Hell, he let his son deal with Eddie Hearns. No, I don't deal with him. I talk to his father. I don't talk to Eddie. I talk to his dad. I talk to Barry Hearns. I don't talk to him. Right? So I highly doubt Terence Crawford was someone in the know to talk to Frank. So the hidden agenda behind this could very well be a way to probably try to help Crawford get his stock up before we go into undisputed fight. Prodigy, go ahead, old man, and hit them niggas over the head with that logic, man.
I mean, yeah, you pretty much said part of it already. I mean, what makes sense to me is there's no way that whoever's behind Terence Crawford versus David Avanesyan gets a return. It just doesn't make logical sense. You spent all the money that you had in making this fight on giving Terence Crawford $10 million. Remember when Triller was going to give Teofimo Lopez $9 million? Well, the reason why is because people knew what Triller was at that time. What is this shit called? Black Fight Fan TV pay-per-view, nigga? What is my nigga Black? This is my nigga Black's fucking pay-per-view channel, nigga. So so nobody knows this Black Fight Fan pay-per-view channel, bro. You know what I'm saying? Right. Shout out to my nigga, man. I'm about to use him as he gonna be a parody for this one. But nobody knows this. So Triller can get away with giving $9 million to a fighter.
Right.
But Black Fight Fan can't give $10 million to a nigga. You see what I'm saying? He can't give $10 million to a nigga. I don't think he can. Right? So at the end of the day, bro, there has to be somebody that stepped in and fronted the money. Now, who has Terence Crawford been dealing with? My man Blake said he's not signed to PBC, but think about this. Who has he been dealing with, right? Who has he been dealing with this whole year in negotiations? PBC, right? What fighter is, or I'm sorry, what promotional company is David Avanesyan signed to? Queensberry Promotions, or at least partially, right? We don't know the terms of his deal, but we know he deals with Frank Warren, right? Who else deals with Frank Warren very closely?
Al Heyman.
Well, besides Al Heyman.
Bob Arams.
Bob Arams, right? So you've got at least two fucking pathways where it could have been Bob Arams and Top Rank that put money into this, right? And people are going to be like, why would Top Rank do that? Hold on. And then you got PBC that could have put money into this, right? And people are like, well, why would PBC do this? This is on Black Fight Fan TV. You know what I'm saying? Well, here's the problem. Here's why. If there's a guarantee that Spence Crawford happens in 2023, all those people that invested in this fight get their money back, bro. And then some. That's how investments work. They're investing into Crawford's next fight so that he would be at ease in getting the money he's been looking for, right? A $20 million guarantee is what he's been looking for, at least $20 million anyway. They just gave him 10 now. On the back end, they'll get this 10 back, whoever invested in it, if Crawford Spence happens. And guess what Crawford gets again? Another 10. Y'all see where this is? Y'all see where this will work? This is business.
Right.
This is how you invest.
These niggas playing chess at the highest level.
Right, at the highest level. So Crawford is at ease. They go back to negotiating the fight in 2023. The fight happens. Everybody wins. The investors get their money back. That's why Bob Arum would step in. Oh, yeah, if you're going to give me a certain percentage of that too, bet. Because think about it. Bob Arum has been dealing with Terence Crawford his whole fucking career.
Exactly.
Understand, guys, Bob Arum has his hand in so much shit. Bob, man, look, I'm going to tell y'all, man, Bob Arum is the sport of boxing, man, on the business side. On the business side.
Yeah.
Bob Arum is the sport of boxing. Let me say this. Bob Arum is boxing business. Let me say it like that.
Yes, he is.
Al Heyman's done an excellent job, but it's not him. Eddie Hearn has done an excellent job, but it's not him. You know, Frank Warren's, he's an OG, been around for a minute. It ain't him.
No, sir.
Bob Arum is boxing business. I still firmly fucking believe that he had a hand in Triller going over to DAZN, or I'm sorry, Teofimo Lopez going over to DAZN for that Cam Booty fight. I firmly fucking, nigga, I'd bet my house on it, bruh, that Bob Arum had a hand in that. Triller has been non-existent since. I mean, they've shown some shit, but nobody really cares. You know what I'm saying? And y'all already know he had a hand in Devin Haney telling the promotional company that he was with, hey, y'all, well, I got to go over here. You know what I'm saying? Sorry. Haney had to shrug his shoulders at Eddie Hearn. Sorry, man. That's what they told me to do.
What about royalty?
Yeah, right. Hey, man, that's what they told me to do, man. I don't know. I just got a call one day, man. They told me I had to go to ESPN, man. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? And then to save face, DAZN was like, yeah, we're not interested in that fight. Get the fuck out of here. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Yeah, you placed a bid on it when it was Cambosis and fucking
Exactly.
Lopez fighting. Nigga, what are you
They
talking
sure did
about?
place a bid on it, right?
Place the bid on it, nigga. What are you talking about?
You know damn well you were interested in Cambosis and Tio, but you weren't interested in Cambosis and your fighter fighting. Get the fuck out of here. See, these people think boxing fans are stupid, and most of them are, and that's why they get away with the shit they get away with.
Exactly.
But Bob Arum clearly, and I mean that's already out there. It's facts. He's had his hand in that. He had his hand in Devin Haney moving over, and the two Cam Booty fights had to be on ESPN instead of DAZN, where they should have been. Right. So what makes you think that Bob Arum is just sitting idly by while the possibility of a $100 million matchup could happen and he gets none of it? Y'all really believe that? Y'all really fucking believe that, dog? Y'all believe that? Y'all believe Bob Arum just sitting over here chilling and shit with his hoes? You know his old ass still got hoes, right?
Yeah.
And right, Bo. He's sitting there, yeah, he looking up at the TV watching the fight. Right, playing video games and shit. While Al Heyman and everybody else makes money, but he doesn't. He built Terence Crawford to where he is today.
Yep.
But you're saying he won't get nothing. And this is Bob Arum.
Yeah.
Let's bring the reality into this. Bob Arum probably put money up, so did PBC, so that Terence Crawford can get his $10 million, so that he could get a percentage of the Spence fight if/when it happens in 2023 or maybe 2024, bro. That's what's happening. That's why he's getting 8 figures for David Avanesyan. Now, what does that mean for David Avanesyan? I have no fucking clue. I would love to see his purse. I don't even care about this shit. Yeah, I don't care about niggas' pockets. But in this scenario, this shit right here, I need to see this nigga's purse, bro. Did they give this man at least $500K?
Nigga, you gotta stop. You killing me. You killing me.
Did they at least give him $500K? Because you're selling the pay-per-view for $40. I mean, typically, if you give a nigga 8 figures, like, think about it. Canelo only got fucking $5 million for Miguel Cotto, bruh.
Yeah. Wow, that's a very good fucking point. Goddamn.
He only got $5 million for Miguel Cotto. You see what I'm saying? But they had to give Miguel Cotto like 15.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? But who had the bigger name? Canelo did. Yeah, Cotto's, he's beloved in boxing, sure. But Canelo had the bigger name.
Yeah.
So if right now you're saying the highest purse for this $40 pay-per-view is $10 million, but the opponent is somebody that most boxing fans have no fucking idea who the guy is.
Correct.
How is it that he could get over $500K? If he does, then that even proves my point even more, that there are entities behind all of this with lots of money that have invested in this fight so that Avanesyan could be happy, Crawford could be happy, and that they get and the prize is, or at least the reciprocation here is that those entities that made that investment get a percentage of the Crawford Spence mega fight. That makes perfect fucking sense to me, bro.
Yes.
But then again, there's a lot of dumb motherfuckers out here, bro, that don't think like that, so they won't get it.
Well, you understand that's not who we talking to. We're not talking to you motherfuckers that's, on that island of dumbness. We're not talking to you motherfuckers that's like,
Man, you put 90% of the boxing fans on that island. nigga, if America was the motherland and that island was where all the dumb fans go, the motherland would only have like 8 people on it. The fucking island would be the new United States. How many stupid motherfuckers there are? You know what I'm saying?
That's actually a good point. But here's the thing, man. First of all, understand something, man. 95% of the things we come on here and we tell you guys as scenarios. There's a reason why we talk to you guys as scenarios, and I'm gonna leave it at that, right? I'm gonna leave that shit as that. Notice no one else is talking about the scenario the way we're talking about the scenario. We're not talking about how dumb of a move this is. We ain't talking about none of that. We are telling y'all how pieces on the fucking chessboard are moved around. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about how business at the highest level in millions and billions of dollars is being done. This is what we're talking about. Notice the content I gave y'all. I said this app does independent, low-budget films and sitcoms.
Like State Property Part 2 and shit. 1 and 2. Low budget ass whack shit, nigga.
The remix.
Right.
Okay. Right. But at the end of the day, when Terence, if you're telling me you're making an Errol Spence fight, because now this is where I'm gonna steal my man's point. I'm sorry, Prodigy, but I got to take this point. You said it earlier, and I told myself I was giving you a chance to say it. If you didn't say it, nigga, I got to take it.
As long as you credit my shit, go ahead.
I'm gonna credit you on shit. Here's the reason why David Avanesyan fit. Prodigy just told y'all. Well, David Avanesyan, you can give him 500,000, 4, 2, 3, whatever. See, you can rob David Avanesyan to make sure Crawford gets his 10 million. You can't rob Keith Thurman.
That's absolutely correct.
You can't tell Keith Thurman take this pay cut. You know why? You can't tell him because he refused to do it when he was talking to Bob Arams about a Crawford fight.
You can't rob Keith Thurman. You can't rob Virgil Ortiz now. You can't rob Jaron Ennis now. Them two prospects, quote, quote, have gotten too much popularity at this point in their careers.
Yes, sir.
You can't rob those guys.
Rob them niggas.
You can rob a David Avanesyan, though. Absolutely.
No, matter of fact, nobody would even inquire as to what his purse is. We don't care. We wouldn't care what his purse was.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
You know, we just like, hey man, these niggas finna take a loss paying Crawford 10 million. But if it was Keith Thurman, like, oh no, sir, no way. They can't afford that. That's what we'd be saying. Nah, dog, there's no way they can afford that. Nah, nigga, nah.
Right. Right. There's no way you could pay Terence Crawford 10 million. If you're getting Terence Crawford 10 million, Keith's gonna want somewhere near or more. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And he might take less because of the way his career has gone so far, or recently losing to Manny Pacquiao, Mario Barrios, etc. So he understands that he's no longer bringing that same market value as he did when he was the unified champion, right?
Exactly.
So he might take a little less, but even then, let's say Crawford takes 10, you got to give Keith 8, 7. That's 17 million, nigga.
Yeah.
Right? And,
Yeah.
and it's on Black Fight Fan TV's pay-per-view, dog.
Yeah,
they
right.
can't pay that back.
Can't pay that back. Right? Not to mention, Crawford is the one. And think about this. See, you guys, this is why we do what we do. You guys got to think about it. Crawford said the reason why his pay-per-views couldn't sell was because no one knew how to locate the ESPN Plus app. Let me say this again. This is Terence Crawford that said it, y'all. Go to threekingsboxing.com. I ain't making shit up. This is what the nigga said. People were having trouble figuring out how to find the ESPN app, the most noticeable name in sports.
Good point.
So what problem do you think niggas gonna have finding Black Pride?
Right.
You think that motherfucker is easily searchable? You know how long I had to forget this shit I got, nigga?
Man, look here, bro. Look, they're gonna have my man Trill Boxing Talk gonna have to put the goddamn link in his description. This is how you get to my pay-per-view app, bro. That's what he gonna have to do.
Yep.
This is how y'all get to my pay-per-view app. Watch that Crawford Avanesyan fight. That's what he gonna have to do. Cause ain't nobody else gonna find it no other way.
No, sir.
When is it? When's the fight? December 10th?
December 10th.
Man, they need to start marketing yesterday.
Yes, sir. And then notice they said $39.99. They didn't hit you with the regular $79. They already know that ain't gonna work.
And that's why, and that was my point. One of my biggest points is that how they're not going to get that money back.
Yep.
Because when you give a nigga, that's why I was going with fucking Canelo, getting his guarantees. The zone, I think that fight total was like 84 total.
Yeah.
For Golovkin Canelo. That shit was 84 total. That's because of the guarantees them niggas had. Right?
Yes,
you
sir.
give a nigga $10 million guarantee, yeah, your shit got to start at 60. Your event. I wonder how much the tickets cost, bro. That's what I'm saying. We already see it's $40, right? Which is literally like a pay-per-view in the UK and shit. I think theirs is like 30, right?
Yeah.
But the pay-per-view is already $40, which is less than what most pay-per-views cost here in America.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fight's in Nebraska. I don't know where exactly it is. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure they got some stadium over there. I mean, at fucking Cornhusker Stadium. I don't know, nigga. They got some stadium where they could fill a bunch of seats. But how many people would actually go there from Nebraska?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How popular is Terence Crawford in Nebraska? That's one thing we don't know. It's an unknown. Then how much would those seats cost? Like, I'm going to pay attention to, for the first time, I'm going to actually pay attention to this. Because I want to know what the fuck they did, bro.
For real.
I don't want to speculate. I want to know what they did. How did they do this? How did they come off 10 million, bro, for this fight?
Yeah. How'd y'all pull that off? And then made a profit, too. Like, how'd y'all pull that off?
No way they made a profit. Or they're going to make a profit. No way. No way.
So, understand, man, this is how this is business, and this is what we're talking about, right? And I'm gonna say this again. I'm gonna point this out. No one else talking the way we're talking, and there's a reason for that, right? And that's all I'm gonna say, man. All right, man. I want to move on to a topic that me and Prodigy got into it earlier. Oh man, I hate we didn't record that conversation. That was dope. So I had told him, man. I said, listen, man, if you look at what the way boxing is going on, right? Which we're not getting the big fights. A lot of people and fans are disgruntled. A lot of moving parts where the fights aren't happening the way we want them to happen. The decrease in pay-per-view success. And what I mean was, once upon a time, successful pay-per-views was 1 million plus. Now 300, 400,000 are considered successful pay-per-view. Hell, if you do 500,000, you're considered like the fucking man of motherfucking boxing, right? How the guaranteed money, which is something we were just talking about right now, how guaranteed money and all those things are coming into play. I was telling him, I said, man, we could get to a point, man, within the next 15 to 20 years, man, boxing just might be dead or at the very least on life support. Now, let me say this right here. one thing that showed us how heavily boxing does depend on its fans was, of course, the 2020 shutdown, right? For those first couple months. Now, boxing was able to open up and it slowly creeped back. But this is, let me just say this. If it wasn't for the women boxing this year, I honestly would have called this a failure for boxing. But in the next 20 years, if we continue to have these issues where we're not getting the big fights, where these guys ain't fighting their prime, they're false feeding us, they're giving us shit, but telling us this is caviar and telling us to eat it, and then never even actually giving you their fucking caviar. And hell, even when you look at social media, how people are pirating fights because they're not good fights, not worthy of you paying your money for. I could see a serious decline in the amount of attention that boxing is being able to encounter and endure. I can see a serious decline in the amount of notoriety or in the amount of people anxious to watch fights. If we continue this path, I can see that decline. That decline really hit during the Floyd Mayweather Manny Pacquiao situation, because one thing boxing always failed to do is it fails to build you that megastar, that Muhammad Ali, that Mike Tyson, that, they will give you good fights, but it fails to build that super duper duper megastar throughout the entire sport. You can have that super duper star, and then you have to have other stars. Boxing fails to, in my honest opinion, give you that super duper star and then other stars. And some of it may be the environment we live in, where everybody's picking sides and you have the networks doing what they're doing. So me and Prodigy was talking about that, and I said, man, I can see in 15 to 20 years why it would go down because of the reasons that I named. All right, Prodigy, my man,
I see you changed that goddamn range. You said 10 to 15. You said 10 to 15 years, trying to be fucking slick, nigga. He put 5 years on the low and the high number. That's what he did. He said, because I told him, I said, dead, nigga, you're talking lifeless. That's what, 2032? I said 10 years go by fast, nigga. Let me tell you something. Them 5 years don't matter. What you got to understand. Let me go to your point. Let me add to your point. Not help, but let me add to your point. With the recent news that boxing is going to be removed from the Olympics, that's a major move, bro.
Yeah.
Boxing has been a part of the Olympics for decades, right? Obviously, right? And they're already going the route of, at first they went the route of changing, the whole judging system of the AIBA. And then from there, they're saying, all right, fuck it, we're just going to scrap it all together. You see what I'm saying? That is a major move that could give what Bo is saying credibility, right? And I know it's amateur boxing, but amateur boxing, what a lot of people understand, has been the crutch to professional boxing for a very long time.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Even, understanding what fighter you want to showcase as a promoter comes from amateur boxing. You see what I'm saying? It comes from people being able to see those fighters on television. Like if we didn't see Shakur Stevenson in the 2016 Olympics, nobody would really know who the fuck he was. You see what I'm saying? Like, unless you were deep in the amateur boxing system, you wouldn't know who Shakur Stevenson was. Hell, you definitely wouldn't have known who Robeisy Ramirez was. He beat Shakur. So as he got signed by Top Rank, people were like, oh, yeah, we know that cat. He's the one that beat the #1 guy in America. See what I'm saying?
Right.
So the amateur boxing system in the Olympics is a serious change to how things are going to be done. And like I said, it gives credibility to what Bo is saying. Now, at the end of the day, though, you got to understand how long boxing has been around.
Mm-hmm.
It's been around for more than a century. You know what I'm saying? You can't just something like that doesn't just die off. Think of other sports that nobody gives a fuck about that are still kicking. And the reason why they're still kicking is because they're relevant in different areas of the world. You see what I'm saying? They're relevant over there. And they might not be relevant in the big, bad United States, but they're relevant over there.
That's a very good point.
So at the end of the day, with them being relevant over there, right, they still get enough traffic, they get enough attention to stay kicking. right?
Mm-hmm.
Boxing would be the same way. Even though it could be off the Olympics for good. Who knows? Hopefully they fix that and we're back on. But it could be off the Olympics for good. Other countries may not host it. There was another, I think it was Sweden or somebody that just got back into hosting it. They had it, they had it out there, then they banned it, then they brought it back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there could be more countries that end up banning it the way Sweden used to. You know, maybe it could hit some of the major countries. I mean, I don't know. Germany wakes up one day and says, "Damn, our fighters really aren't that good." I'm saying, let's get this shit out of here, bro. We spend too much money on this.
Australia, nigga.
Right, Australia, right.
They really need to think about that.
They really need to think about that shit, right? But that could happen, right? And even if that were to happen, it would still be somewhere. There'd still be a country that is still hosting fights. To say that a sport is dead, that means it's fucking completely gone. Mm-hmm. And that's the part I think you didn't understand when you said what you said. Now, you could say boxing is going to be on a serious decline. Okay. I would have agreed with you on that. But to say that it's dead, and I'm taking the first range, fuck your adjustment. You said from 2032 to 2037, boxing will be completely eradicated. No, sir. That shit ain't going nowhere. And I raise you one. It's still going to be the same way it is now in 10 years. Ain't nothing changing. Because we got guys that can still carry it in the same direction it's going today. Think 10 years from now, you got guys like Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney that are still fighting. Unless something happens to them, God forbid. Right?
Right.
Frank Martin, that's a guy that if he can get past Chris Colbert or other guys that are going to come his way, he's going to be another one. Right? You've got several guys, Keyshawn Davis, and you got several guys in the sport right now, right? From Europe and from the Americas that can actually help carry boxing 10 years from now, bro. Mm-hmm. Boxing's not going to change from now to 2032. I don't believe that. Now, if we said 2062, you know what I'm saying? Who knows? But I don't see a major change in this sport in 10 years. I see more apps coming alive. We just fucking saw, you know what I'm saying, Black Prime got an app now. Oh, we had an app, been out 5 years, but nobody knew about it.
Right.
Now they're showing fights.
Right.
They're showing fights featuring a nigga that made 8 figures.
Right.
So exactly. That's only going to continue. You see what I'm saying? Then you're going to have other apps showing fights. Right? I think they're going to try to crack down on streaming within the next 10 years.
That's a very good point.
They start cracking down on streaming, then that gets it to where people are going to start buying more pay-per-views. People are going to be like, they could never crack down on streaming. No, they're trying to ban the internet right now, guys, as we speak. They've been doing that for the last 10 years now, trying to figure out a way to ban the internet. And for you dumb niggas that don't know, the internet's ledger, which is basically, think of it as an address book for all the websites that are on the internet. The United States used to control that. We no longer control it. We sold it. So now the ledger that has the addresses for every single website on the internet is controlled by several different countries now. Why do you think that happened? Because they're trying to ban the internet. They're trying to make it to where you can only see certain things. Mm-hmm. All right. So in the process of that happening, they're going to crack down on illegal streaming. So when that takes place, you niggas got to come out your pockets. That's what I see happening more of within the next 10, 15 years. So boxing will still be around. It may have a slight decline depending on, the type of a skill and ability that the top fighters of that next era, whatever they're displaying and how much of the intrigue that they can keep the fans that are fans today, or how much intrigue they generate to bring in new fans. All of those things are relative. We don't know how that's going to happen, but that's where a decline could happen. But to say boxing will be fucking dead, which means it will be completely eradicated, I don't see that ever happening, bro. It's still going to be alive and it will still be moving.
I think, and you're right. Okay, here's the thing about the decline, and one of the heavier things is the fact that you're going to take it out of the Olympics now. One of the reasons why a lot of fighters will stick around the amateur system is going to the Olympics, because depending on how far you go in the Olympics qualifiers, alternate, bronze, silver, gold, well, depends on the amount of money you make on a signing bonus when you sign to an entity, right? You guys think I'm lying? All you got to do is think about, like like we said, Shakur Stevens, Andre Ward, Ramiro Robisi, and even in the women's side of the aspect, Clarissa Shields. Think of the signing bonuses that they get. Those things, just like in football, right? They're based off of a certain criteria that they look in the box that you check when they go to sign you. Oh, Olympic gold medalist, that right there, check that box. That's an automatic $250,000 signing bonus, right there. automatic 250 signing bonus. Okay, whoa, two-time gold medalist. Oh, well, that's 500. That's a guaranteed $500,000 signing bonus and another $300,000 a fight, right? So they check that box. So when you take the Olympics out of, what you may see a decline in is in the amount of fighters that take the path through the amateurs at the length of time that fighters do. Some fighters would take a longer path to sharpen their skills. Some more fighters will now take a shorter path. Instead of fighting 100 fights and 50 fights, guys will fight 20, 25, 30 fights, because at the end of the day, to be like, hey, what's the point? I'm not going to go to the Olympics, so I have to have this showing in the amateurs, win a couple of national tournaments, which we've seen. One of the guys I talked about, that heavyweight, Antonio Medeiros, he was an alternate, but he won a couple of national championships, won a couple of tournaments on the international scale. That's what they will get you noticed. And I think we'll see a decline in fighters staying in the amateur system. So far as skill, I agree with you. And also, I think you'll see a decline in fans, but not to a sharp decline, because one thing you said that made me think about something is boxing always finds a way, however it is, to adapt to its situation and surroundings and come back. For example, we know we didn't get none from the men, but the women carried boxing, and it still made it money. It ain't like we didn't get fights; we just didn't get the big fights. We still got Usyk and Anthony Joshua, so it ain't like we didn't get fights. We still got Ugas and Errol Spence,
Wow.
right? So it ain't like we didn't get fights. We just didn't get those big fights.
Well, I'll do a better one for you. They adjusted when the UFC started getting a whole lot of fucking clout. Like what you're saying, we is what we say, but in reality, men's boxing still made a lot of money this year, man. You know what I'm saying? We just didn't. I mean, the fans are still gonna pay for fights they didn't want. You know what I'm saying? And that's essentially what's been happening this year, outside of Spence Ugas and Joshua Usyk. But
Correct.
Men's boxing still made a lot of money. Women's boxing made more than they normally do. I doubt they're even anywhere near what the men made, even though the men still didn't even, put the fights on that we really wanted. They still didn't make anywhere near what the men made, but they made more than they normally did, and that's an adjustment right there, because women's boxing was in the shithole. You know what I'm saying? And now, 2022, honestly, they've emerged as a true entity within the sport of boxing that should be paid attention to. Correct. So that's the adjustment there. But the real big adjustment is how the UFC comes out. They've got pay-per-view events at the same fucking time that boxing has pay-per-view events. They have events on at the same time. Boxing events are on regular television. They'll be on ESPN. Then you'll have a PBC fight on Fox. And they're still moving, even though the UFC has emerged as a serious competitor, making serious dough. Boxing still fucking lives on. So that's the real adjustment, in my opinion, when it comes to boxing.
And then the location too. They've been picking location where, hey man, these motherfuckers are paying the amount of money we need to pay the fighters in certain aspects too as well, like Abu Dhabi and all of these situations. So yeah, you're right. Absolutely agree with you. And the first person to even introduced that was Bob Arum with the whole Macau situation.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I forgot that, man. Zhu Shiming. Zhu Shiming. I couldn't stand that motherfucker, man. And that's another thing, bro. Again, again, Olympics, right?
Right.
Zhu Shiming won a gold medal.
Sure did.
If Zhu Shiming would have not been able to showcase his somewhat ability on national television on the Olympics, he would have not gotten a top ranked contract, bro. No fucking way.
That's very true.
And you saw why. I'm so happy my Amnat Ruwong fucked his ass up, bro. I was happy when Amnat Ruwong whooped his ass, bro.
For real.
Thank you.
Man.
Get this nigga out of here, man. He's trash. They say he's just as popular as Yao Ming out there, or not as popular, but Yao Ming is like God in China right now.
Yeah, he is.
And Zhu Shiming is up there with him almost, bro. I don't know. Whatever, bro.
I'm at a loss for words with that one.
Right.
I don't know about that one either, but yeah, you're right. And then as far as what you're saying about cracking down on the internet, I'll take it a step further. Have you guys noticed how? So let's say bandwidth. I'm trying to keep it simple. So there's such thing known as bandwidth. Bandwidth means the amount of frequency that you get to do the things that you want to do. Have you guys ever noticed that you will go to maybe like your app, and in the daytime it's working fine, but at nighttime your app might be buffering and going slow?
Yeah.
You know why? Because they take the bandwidth from your app and put it to other things such as, this network, porn, or whatever the case is that may be. Mm-hmm. So that's another thing that they're doing. Like when we saying, remember, when you used to stream fights, you click that. Matter of fact, it used to be one link. Click that one link, fight was on. Now you got to click. Okay, another link.
Page, another page comes on top of your page and shit. And you got to go back. Yeah, bro. And if you didn't pay attention to it, you click exit real fast. And you exit the whole fucking thing. Now you got to start all over. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yep.
What happened?
Yep.
So yeah, no, man. So very good point by man Prodigy. But again, these are conversations motherfuckers ain't having, and we're having these conversations for a reason, right? And these are all learning things, and I definitely appreciate my man for having that, because that was something I wanted to talk about. So I definitely appreciate my man talking about that. Now let's get down to the motherfucking nitty gritty. Woo! Let me tell y'all something, man. Jaron Ennis and that WBA regular champion, Imantas Stanionis, man, they turning up the heat. So as you guys know,
hold on, man, that was a good job, man. You said his name. That was a good job. Say it again.
I've been practicing it all day.
Say it again, bro. What's his name?
Imantas Stanionis.
That was good, bro. This nigga did not fuck up somebody's name, bro. I'm surprised that nigga got that shit, bro. Damn. Now repeat after me, motherfucker. If you could get Imantas Stanionis right, repeat after me. Canelo. There's no R.
Canelo.
Lee Selby, nigga. There's no H. Selby. Oh shit.
Oh man, you're killing me. So Stanionis and of course Jaron Boots Enos team. Jaron Boots Enos them have already petitioned the IBF for them to be ordered to fight Errol Spence. Errol Spence has not fought a mandatory in IBF since, was it Ocampo?
Man, yeah, I think so. I think that was the last time they mandated anyone, because Errol's been fighting consistently, right?
Yeah.
So they really just been chilling. They've been fucking chilling, like, well, let them fight. Fuck it.
People's up there like, well, ain't nobody sent me no paperwork.
And that's a testament to Errol Spence's resume. He's fighting big fight after big fight after big fight. So the fucking sanctioning bodies are happy with the money they're getting under the table. They ain't even tripping about fucking mandating anybody.
No,
God damn, I could have used that argument a long time ago.
This is to show you who's the more popular fighter. This nigga got 3 belts, and them niggas sitting back like, well, nothing to see here.
You're right. Mandate who? Man, shut the fuck up. Sit down, nigga. See what this nigga do next. We're gonna see what he do next. That's what we gonna do. Oh man.
What's this? A petition? Nigga, you don't get this shit out of here. I got my office security.
They
Motherfucker out
ripped
of here.
that shit up in front of that nigga's face and shit. Oh damn, bro.
But so Boots Ennis, as you guys know, he's number one by the IBF. So according to his father, they've already petitioned the IBF to make him the mandatory since the Crawford fight has not happened. And then of course, Stanionis with the WBA, they're gonna he was already mandatory. And here's how that happened, right? Remember, Stanionis was supposed to have fought Yordenis Ugas.
Yep.
But in order to allow Errol Spence to fight, they made a deal. Again, what do we talk about? Business, moving pieces on the chessboard. They said, okay, this is what we're going to do. They did a Don King. All right, we're going to let this guy fight this guy, and then you'll fight this guy for that regular title. Yeah, nigga. That's what's up, nigga. And a matter of fact, we'll pay you more money because you'll be on the undercard of Spence. Yeah, nigga, that works. Yeah, nigga. Yeah. That's how they did.
Yeah.
Prodigy, am I lying? Ain't that how they did
Nah.
it?
Nah, that's how they did it. Yep.
They said, yeah, checkmate, nigga. Go ahead, sign them documents.
Man, pretty much.
Right? So because he stepped aside once to allow the Ugas fight to take place, Errol Spence inherited that mandatory. Well, of course, they was willing to step aside to let Errol fight Terence Crawford. But now that that fight is off, they have claimed that, hey, whoa, wait a minute. If he ain't fighting Crawford, we're not going to let him pick someone out the litter. No, sir. We're not going to sit back and let this nigga pick a nigga out the litter. No, sir. We want our next. Now, here's the thing, and I want everybody to understand that. This could turn into a situation kind of like what happened with Gennady Golovkin. Gennady Golovkin, right, was ordered to fight his mandatory with the winner of that fighting Erislandy Lara. So he's locked up for 2 fights. We could have the same situation here where the WBA and the IBF, it's already a precedent set for it that they've done that, could agree, okay, listen, we'll let your guy fight, but after that, he got to fight this guy over here next. And if Errol Spence is ordered to fight both Boots Ennis and Stanionis going into 2023, we may not get Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence because Errol only fights twice a year. And after fighting them 2 big fights, I don't see him fighting again. But understand, if Errol Spence beats Boots Ennis alone, if he has to fight Boots Ennis and beats Boots Ennis alone, Terence Crawford is he's at the supreme tail end of a goddamn.
I think he's already there.
What'd you say?
I think he's already there.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't. Spence doesn't need. We just said why he's at the tail end. I mean,
that's true.
The fucking sanctioning bodies ain't even mandating fights for this nigga because of the talent that he's been fighting. You know what I'm saying? He's already at the tail end. Beating Boots is just. I mean, it just gets ridiculous after that. Honestly, I'm gonna be like, all right, Terrence, man, just retire. Like, I'm not even gonna call for that fight. If Errol Spence has to fight Boots Ennis while fucking Terence Crawford is fighting David Avanesyan, I'm gonna say, Terrence, just retire, bro.
Yep, agreed.
You know what I'm saying? It's getting unfair at this point, nigga. It's getting unfair, bro. Like this is ridiculous. Like I'd rather Spence move up to 154 and beat Jermell, even though Jermell don't want to fight him, but Spence never said nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? Jermell was like, that's like my brother. Ain't that right, Spence? Spence was like, nigga didn't say nothing.
I have my headphones on. What?
Right. Exactly, bro. So I'm just like, fuck it, just go to 154 and beat Jermell, nigga. Whatever, man. Like, like I said, at this point, if he has to fight either one, man, like Amanda Stanionis is much more of a fucking threat than David Avanesyan.
Yes, sir.
If he has to fight either one, man, it just at this point it's embarrassing, man.
And that's the point, and that's the thing, man. I think people need to gear up. Let me say this. I don't think it's going to play out that way, and I'll be honest with you guys. I don't think it's going to play out that way. I think it's going to be a situation of Spence is probably going to have to fight one, right? He'll probably have to fight one of those guys, and because I don't see Errol Spence, if Crawford fights in December, Spence and him is not fighting in February.
Right.
And if I'm Errol Spence, I'm not gonna go almost a whole year without having to fight. I'm going into a Crawford fight. I want to fight before I go into a Crawford fight because Crawford's getting the fight before he fights me. So I want to fight going into this Crawford fight. So Crawford, he could fight somebody, and we could be looking at this fight maybe not happening again to the tail end of 2023, or like I say, it's fans gear yourself. And there's again, pay attention, gear yourselves up. This could very well be a situation where, if this goes the way I'm thinking it might go, we might not see him and Terence Crawford in 2023. And if that's the case,
well, I think so. The top two scenarios for me are, the first one would be that there is a mandate for either Stanionis or Boots. I think the mandate would come from the IBF. I don't think it would come from the WBA. You know what I'm saying? So I think Boots, Errol Spence now is cornered into fighting Boots. However, if Keith Thurman can get in that mix, then it will be Thurman, right? Because I think they'll hold off on that fight too, because there's money under the table. And that's not a small fight. You know what I'm saying? And Errol Spence has already shown that he could generate with other big name fighters. So I think they'd hold off there as well. Once again, they wouldn't mandate anything. Another scenario is Errol Spence just goes right into a Terence Crawford fight. We've already seen he's not a big, I need a tune-up type of fighter. He doesn't care about that. We've already seen that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence I don't think it's the right thing to do, but it could be something that he does. Goes right into a Terence Crawford fight, even though Crawford has fought. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So those are actually my top two scenarios. I think that if the first scenario happens where there's a mandate or he ends up fighting Keith Thurman, I think at the end of the year, that fight will happen at the end of 2023. I don't think we go into 2024 without Crawford Spence happening. If we go into 2024 and it hasn't happened yet, it's not going to happen.
Good point.
I think at that point, Errol Spence moves up to 154. Maybe they both move to 154 and they talk about the fight there. It's still a fight we'd like to see. However, it's more of an intriguing fight. Not even intriguing. It's a more marketable fight when it's for undisputed. You see what I'm saying?
Agreed.
But yeah, if this fight don't happen at the tail end of 2023, or even, the first half of 2023, then this fight's not happening at all, bro.
Agreed. I definitely 100% agree with you right there, man. That's what I was getting into, man. If this fight don't happen in 2023, buckle up. We're not going to see it. And if we do see it, it's not going to have the same amount of interest that it has. I mean, right now, this fight's at its height right now. And that's why, they need to strike. They need to try to strike while the iron is hot.
But as I said, I mean, as I said, they're both getting too big for the division. Errol Spence is definitely getting too big.
Oh, hell yeah.
Crawford has shown that he walks around 180, 185. So, from 180 to 185 down to 147, that's damn near 40 fucking pounds. That's 38 pounds, bro. That's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it would probably be a breath of fresh air for him to go to 154, maybe even 160, depending on where he decides to go. And typically they take one division at a time. So I'll assume 154. And that's where Errol Spence will end up going. That could save the fight as well. Like I said, it just wouldn't have the same marketability as it does at 147. People want to see this fight because it's two of the best fighters in the world in the same fucking division, and all the belts are on the line. Those things that I just said is what is making this fight still interesting to the fans. Agreed. All of those things, not just one or two of those things, all of them.
Yep.
Because a lot of the bullshit that they've gone through, these niggas ain't Mayweather and Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? So Mayweather and Pacquiao, motherfuckers is willing to wait because it's Mayweather and Pacquiao. Yeah. But these two motherfuckers are not on that level in terms of popularity, right? Yeah. So if it was any other way, like, Spence had one belt and Crawford had one belt, I don't think it would even have this much intrigue. I don't think it would. But the fact that it's for undisputed adds the icing on the cake. We're gonna see who the best welterweight is in the world. Literally. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Literally, bro. If they fight. And that's what people want to see.
And to your point, that's what made Clarissa Shields and Savannah Marshall so intriguing. It was for undisputed. Outside, I mean, yeah, we had the fact that she beat her in the amateurs, but the fact that he was even for undisputed, it was so people love drama, and when things are on the line like that, they love to see it. It was a lot on that line. Undisputed, You know, it wasn't just the fact she was the champion. No, this is undisputed. So I got that. Whoever wins is the best. Like there is no, all right, now go fight this motherfucker. You know?
Yeah.
There is no. Nah, motherfucker, I'm the best.
Right. My man Blake said Buzz should have signed with PBC and that would have guaranteed him a Spence fight. But here's the deal though, Blake. PBC didn't want the nigga. PBC is only interested in doing fight by fight deals with this man. PBC was the one that came out and said, hey, we can't get a return on an investment if we sign Terence Crawford. They're the ones that came out and said that. Yes, as well did Eddie Hearn.
Yes,
they came out and said this shit like, yeah, we can't make no money off this nigga, man. Y'all seen this motherfucker's pay-per-views? We ain't make no money off that. And of course, those two statements came on the heels of Mr. Business of Boxing. He said it first. Mr. Business of Boxing said, yeah, I took a loss when I had Terence Crawford.
Sure did.
And when Mr. Business of Boxing said that, then here comes Eddie Hearn was this, I think actually PBC was the second one. And then Eddie Hearn was the third one. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they don't want him, but they're interested in signing a 2-fight deal as it turns out, right? For Errol Spence, that would be the fight and the rematch.
Yeah.
That's what they're really interested in. A fight by fight basis with this man.
Exactly.
And that's probably what he's interested in too, to be quite honest with you.
At this point in his career, that's what it seems like. What is Terence, 33, 34 years old?
Yeah, he's up. I think he's 35 actually.
Yeah,
I don't really know.
You might be right. Yeah, so at this point, so if they go into 2023, yeah, he'd be 36. So yeah, you're right. Yeah, Blake, that was said a while back, and it was the first time that people saying, "Well, Bob Arum's not lying."
Yeah. No, I mean, because that can be verified. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, by Arum at that point. I mean, we're sitting there watching the pay-per-view numbers flop, nigga. You know, we sitting there watching the pay-per-view numbers be a bunch of sandals out here, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Pay-per-view numbers generating sandals and shit. It just flip-flops, bro. we watching that shit, bro. So, I mean, shit, at the end of the day, yeah, I mean, that's all he could do was tell the fucking truth. So it is what it is, man. But I don't know, man. Like I said, I really believe that there's some major entity behind. It may not be PBC, it may not be Top Rank, but there's some major entity behind why Terence Crawford is getting that 10 million. There is a major entity behind that, bro. And I want my gut is it's both PBC and Top Rank, but it could be there's a lot of motherfuckers in boxing with money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. A lot of people don't understand that that Russian cat Andrei Ryabinsky, he would be involved in a lot of shit that didn't have anything to do with Russian fighters.
Exactly.
And you know what I'm saying? He I'm not saying that he's a part of this, but I'm just giving you the idea that there's guys that there's people in the sport that got a lot of dough, bro, and they'll put dough in, you'll never know. You never know who the fuck they are. But I know that when my gut feeling is that that's happening, and the incentive in making that investment is you get a percentage of the pay-per-view that's going to take place between Crawford and Spence, which tells me that the fight is going to happen. You see what I'm saying?
Very good point.
So I don't know, man. But in the meantime, if Spence has to fight Stanionis or Boots, man, listen, I'll tell you what. I like the Stanionis fight. Of course, I want to see Boots. And I think Spence beats Boots right now. Boots ain't ready. I think a lot of niggas like Boots. I'm not saying he's overrated or anything like that, but I've seen some major holes in Boots. And Boots' response to people saying that they've seen holes in him is that, well, you know, I haven't even really shown everything that I got. All right, well, a nigga, show it. I mean, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? What are we waiting on? You know what I'm saying? What the fuck are we waiting on? You know what I'm saying?
Like that tells me that you need to step up your level of competition, nigga. You need to find somebody to bring that shit out of you. Then
you beat these niggas up like that, then yeah, bro. You know, it's time to get other niggas. You might need to move up in weight or something, bro. If that's the case. But yeah, I think, you know, based on what I've seen, and that's considering, you know, that there's a possibility that we've seen the Boots that we need to see. Spence beats him right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think if like Boots were to fight anybody else in the division, not named Spence and Crawford. He beats those guys, and that includes Virgil Ortiz. But Spence and Crawford would beat him today. Yes. Absolutely.
Agree 100%, man. All right, man. Speaking, this is the part I you know what, Prodigy, I'll let you have the floor on this one, man. This is the part that I've been waiting on all day, when you got motherfuckers out here in these streets stealing our shit and not want to give a nigga credit. Yo, man, what's up with that, man?
Yeah, man. So y'all have all seen, I'm pretty sure y'all have seen the whole Anthony Durrell saying, I'll never lose to a white boy, and I never lost to a white boy, and I never will. And I've seen lots of videos popping up all over social media. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that the people that did the videos were taking credit. They were crediting the wrong sources. Now, I did see motherfuckers out there. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I remember I did that interview. No, nigga, you didn't do that interview. You know what I'm saying? Y'all tell me whose voice this is, man.
Looking at Callum Smith, I'm breaking down his style. I see a lot of the same thing that I see coming from Bottom Jack. Now, Bottom Jack is the guy that took the title from me at 168. All right, Bottom Jack can beat me. Oh, so you think you won that fight? I mean, you got to beat the champion convincingly. He didn't beat me convincingly, man. I feel like I watched that fight, no volume, with volume. I mean, he just didn't win enough rounds. Rounds was close, and I don't think he won enough rounds. But, you know, like I say, it's water under the bridge. It is what it is. You know, that's what the judges gave. Who they gave the fight. You know, just go from there. Okay. So let me ask you this. That's good that you said that, because Callum Smith possesses some of the same tools. You know, he has that straight right hand. He has that body work. He's real economical with his punches. He's patient. He doesn't. He actually waits for his opponent to make mistakes before he actually does anything. Kind of the same style that Badu Jack has. The fact that you're saying you thought Badu Jack lost against you, do you think you need to make any adjustments going into this fight with Callum Smith? I mean, they're damn near virtually the same type of fighter. Badu's probably better as far as IQ-wise. So do you think you need to make any type of adjustment? As anybody can see, when Badu fought me, he didn't do nothing that he did with the other guys that he fought. Right. When he fought the other guys, he beat the other guys clearly. He didn't beat me clearly. If he did beat me, you know. So I mean, I like I said, I know my potential. If I train like I'm supposed to, of course that I am. Nobody can beat me, man. And I told this to a few Europeans, man. I never lost to a white boy in my life, and I ain't gonna start now.
Man, I sounded a little bit younger, didn't I, nigga?
Yeah.
I was a little young nigga back then, bro. I was young. You know, I was a little young and shit. You know, I was talking, had a little, little stutter and shit. You know, I didn't do interviews like that back then. But you could clearly hear the voice, nigga. That's my goddamn voice.
Nigga, you can see the picture.
Well, besides, we could have edited that.
That's true.
We could have edited that, bro. You know what I'm saying? But that's my goddamn voice. And I'm seeing some shit about some niggas. Oh, man, yeah, I remember that. You know what I'm saying? I remember I did that. What, nigga? There's only one 2K to HNIC in this bitch, nigga. There's only one 2K to Prodigy, nigga. And I know that because I just did my YouTube handle, and the handle wasn't taken yet. The motherfucking handle was still available, nigga. So I know there's only one 2K to Prodigy. How the fuck you do that goddamn interview when that's my damn voice?
Right.
See what I'm saying? Boys be cheating out here, stealing niggas shits. I can't. This is why I don't fuck with anybody in boxing, man. Like, I respect everybody that comes to the channel and shit. And even if I yell at you and curse you out and block you, nigga, I still respect the fact that you came over here. Hell, I really respect motherfuckers that stick around and shit after the abuse. And like, goddamn, man, that's what's up. But you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, that nigga actually stayed for that shit. Goddamn, nigga.
Shit, you my nigga.
Right. I like that motherfucker actually. But At the end of the day, bro, that's why you don't ever see anybody from me or my staff parlaying with none of these media cats, man. That's why you don't see it. We go to other cities and shit to cover fights. They be hitting Bo up. Bo is head of public relations. So Bo's name is out there. You know what I'm saying? Bo is out there. That's why he's showing his face right now. You know what I'm saying? This is by design. This shit is by design. So he's out there. So people will hit Bo up. You know, oh man, where y'all at? Oh shit. You know, Bo will show up on other people's podcasts and stuff like that, right? This is by design. But when he gets them calls, be like, hey man, just come hang out. Nope. I ain't even got to tell this man to tell them no. It's already automatic. He already knows. We don't fuck with them niggas. And this type of shit is the reason why. This is why I tell you guys to stop following these dudes, man. Because if they gonna try to steal my shit, just a little lonely ass Anthony Durrell interview that took place in 2017, y'all hear what we're talking about. They're talking about how he was supposed to fight Callum Smith. That fight never actually took place, but that's how long ago this was. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
So they gonna steal an interview like that. What else do you think them niggas out there stealing, bro?
Exactly.
Trying to tell you, man. That's why I'll put my foot in these niggas' asses, man. If they ever see me, man, you see that angry, big-ass, angry black nigga, you understand why I'm angry. You understand by default, I already don't fucking like you. It's by default, nigga. I don't like you. Bo fucking tell you, man, how many people you introduced to me? What do I say to them, Bo, when you introduce them to me, man?
If you say anything at all, it's...
That's it. I don't like you by default. I don't give a fuck who you are. By default, nigga. You could be a girl, big old titties, don't care.
Yeah,
don't like you by default. If you in this boxing shit and you say you're media, I don't like you by default.
That was embarrassing, man. Pheno Boxer was standing there. I'm like, oh, that was embarrassing.
Oh, man. They motherfuckers, because I know the media is shady, bro. The media is shady. You know what I'm saying? They're not just shady to the fighters. Honestly, I don't really care about that because sometimes the fighters, bro, they deserve to get shade thrown at them. You know what I'm saying? Right. Networks and promoters definitely deserve that shit. That's why honestly, for me, I only like fucking with the trainers. They're probably the most decent people in the sport of boxing.
Yeah. Because
the trainers are there, they're doing their job, and that's that, bro. They pick up their little 10%, and then they move on to the next fighter. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I fuck with the trainers, man. But fighters, promoters, all them niggas gonna lie, take sides. You know, even trainers, well, some trainers might take sides if you ask them about their own fighter, but some of them won't. Mm-hmm. I've talked to several trainers that gave me the real deal about how they felt about their own goddamn fighters.
Oh, yeah. The Manolo.
Yeah. Brett, man, went off on fucking on J-Rock, man. Yeah. And he was still actively training that nigga when he did, and he was still actively training him after that.
Sure was.
Went off on that nigga and then trained him for like 4 more fights and then trained him to become a unified champion. Yeah. So, at the end of the day, bro, you know, that's why I can only fuck with trainers. Women's fighters are different, but like I said, you get them more money, they'll end up like the men fighters too.
Yeah.
They'll end up like that too.
Yeah.
That's why I don't fuck with Clarissa. I've interviewed Clarissa. I'm not asking for another one. Not interested. Because I already see where she's at. You know, shout out to her. Congratulations to her on everything. But I already see where she's at.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I've already noticed what she takes note to and what she doesn't take note to. Exactly. I've noticed that. Exactly. Right? Clarissa knows this is a black-owned business. She ain't supporting it. See what I'm saying?
Right.
So at the end of the day, that's why I ain't asked her for another one. So I ain't asked a lot of these girls. Alicia Baumgartner. That's why she ain't on here. That's why these interviews.
I remember when I came up about interview, you like, nope.
No. Don't even do it.
Yeah.
Don't even do it.
Nope.
That's why you guys don't see these interviews like that. Now, if we get, we talk to trainers and shit or whatever, then that's different. We just haven't been out there asking about trainers. But that's where we would go. You know, that's why we got David Benavidez's dad. Nigga, we didn't go for David Benavidez.
That nigga told the truth about his son, Jose Benavidez, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He told the
David
truth about
was right
Jose.
there. David was right there.
Yeah, we talked to David. We talked to David off the air before the interview. And that's the type of shit we do. We were like, "What's up, David? Yeah, pass it to your dad, bro." That's the type of shit we do. That's what's up. Hey, David, we talked to the boy that lost, Jose Venezuela. Yeah, we talked to him before he lost. What's up, man? Oh, that's good, man. You know, happy to see you getting that big fight. All right, man, pass the phone over to Benavidez Sr., man. Gotta get this interview on the road. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's the type of shit we do. There's no sucking dick, no blowing cock, no eating no kind of pussy, bro. We don't do that. And that's what these fighters and these networks and these fucking promoters want you to do. You know what I'm saying? In order to get you to get interviews with them and whatnot, right? The Gilberto Ramirez interviews, that was through a third party that sends me press releases every fucking day. So I basically was like, "Hey, if you want me to print your press releases, then get us an interview with one of the fighters." He said, "Bet, Gilberto Ramirez, here you go." That's how that happened. Yeah. So at the end of the day, man, that's why I don't fuck with these cats, man. I don't fuck with these cats, man. If y'all ever hear anything, "Oh man, 2K said this to this media," no, that's not true. It ain't true. Unless it was, "I'll beat your motherfucking ass." If you heard that, then yeah, that might be true.
Right. Or you see that nigga on the first ever episode of Max on Boxing.
Oh, yeah, right. A lot of people don't know that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That was me on the very first episode of Max Kellerman's Max on Boxing. A lot of people don't know that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know that Three Kings made it to ESPN. A lot of people don't know that Three Kings made it to Showtime Boxing. A lot of people don't fucking know that. But it's fine. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, all I'm asking for is when shit happens, give me my motherfucking credit. That's all I'm asking for. Yeah, Blake, my man Blake said, I still got the video of when we was on ESPN. Right. Yeah, exactly. But that's all I ask for, man. Give me my motherfucking credit, bro. When shit happens, give me my fucking credit. Give the credit to the rightful owner. That's it. That's it. I don't give a shit if you use it or not. I don't give a fuck. But that credit better be given.
Yeah, exactly. Fucked up thing is they know they took it from you because you gotta search. You just nigga, come on, man.
It was on it was in two places, right? It was on my channel, and then it was on fucking the Movement Boxing Podcast. It originally occurred on my channel, and then at that time, me, you, my man Big Cool, Twine, we were all a part of one podcast called The Movement. I moved it from my channel to that channel. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Those are only two places it could be. And in the description, it tells you who it is. Tells you who fucking did the interview.
Oh man, these motherfuckers out here, man. So hey, like my man said, man, just give motherfucker his credit. That's really what it actually. And that's how man. That's how boxing really is. It's like when I ain't gonna say boxing, that's how these motherfuckers really are out here. Which is like my man said, man. You don't like these motherfuckers for that reason right there, because they figure out ways to take something you do and not give you credit for it. They switch up their style, but want to make it look like, oh, we start. No, nigga, you didn't. First reported by UK news. First reported by a nigga in America. No, nigga, no.
Right. We not stupid, bro. We know where that came from.
Let me make a phone call. I'll get you the original source.
Exactly, bro. Exactly, man. Oh, man. Alex said, even saw you asking Max some questions. 2K, don't know which fight that was, but you were conducting the interview. That was Kovalev, Alida Alvarez 2. That was the conclusion of that fight. Yeah. Me and Bo were actually there at that fight. We covered it, and it was actually several people asking Max Kellerman questions, but shit, he liked my questions the best and featured it on Max on Boxing. You know what I'm saying? That's
when I was waiting to shake the nigga hand when we was leaving.
Oh yeah, we was walking away. Yeah, he shook my hand. He grabbed me and shook my hand.
Yep. When I just went and said that nigga
winked at me. I didn't like the wink, but you know what I'm saying? He winked at me and shit.
Nigga,
I didn't like that.
He's tripping about that. That's just that nigga acknowledging you did good.
Hey, it could have been, nigga. I just don't trust these niggas, man.
Niggas you always bring that up, and I tell you the same shit every time.
At that time, it was 2019, bro. You know what I'm saying? We was moving in. We was already in what we in today. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of gay niggas out here, bro. I wasn't sure. You can't just wink at a nigga no more, bro. Can't just go around winking at motherfuckers no more, man.
No, nigga. All right, man. Y'all know what to do, man. Go to 3kingsboxing.com for the latest grids what's going on in the sport of boxing, man. Shout out to everybody over there. Shout out to everybody that hung out with us for almost 2 hours, man. And again, man, hey, like we tell you, man, if you guys want boxing at its realest, intelligent boxing talk and breakdown, whether our opinion is different or whether our opinions are the same, you can't say, oh, that motherfucker don't know what he's talking about. You will never say that about this motherfucker right here. You know why? Because the nigga on my left side will goddamn it close would kick me off and finish the bitch by himself.
Hell yeah.
All right, Prodigy, take us out, fam.
Y'all know what it is, man. Go to 3kingsboxing.com for your source of pure and adulterated boxing information. Hit us up on Twitter at 3kingsboxing, Instagram at 3kingsboxing, Facebook.com/3kingsboxing. Also go to Prodigy of Boxing Talk. The handle is 2K to Prodigy, man. They starting to handle shit. So you can actually do the at symbol and then type in 2K to Prodigy, to find the channel and shit. Same thing with the 3 Kings channel. It'll be at 3 Kings Boxing. Type that handle in, find that channel on both of these channels, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you'll know when we go live on either of these channels. All right. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Appreciate everybody that came through, man. Everybody that came through with their opinions. Didn't have to yell at nobody today. I'm kind of upset about that. I like yelling at niggas, but we'll be back on tomorrow, so it might happen tomorrow. But until then, we out.